Okay, wait for a minute. I'm just coming. Those who are in live, please like my live and subscribe my channel. Those who are in live, please like my live and subscribe my channel. So let's read about protista. First point is the protista. It has single cell and protista of 5 types. First one is the chrysophyte. Second one is the dinoflagellates. Then protozoans, slime mounds, euglenoids. Okay. So what are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 types. There are 5 types of protista. First one is the chrysophytes. Second one is the dinoflagellates. Third one is the euglenoids, and fourth one is the slime mold, and fifth one is the protozoans. So there are 5 types of chrysophytes. First one is the there are 5 types of protozoans. First one is the chrysophytes. Second one is the second chrysophyte. Second one is the dinoflagellates. Third one is the euglenoids, and fourth one is the slime mold, and fifth one is the protozoans. C, D, E, and there is one mnemonics, like we know that ABCD. So here C, D, E: C for chrysophytes, D for dinoflagellates, E for euglenoids, and then saprophytes, slime molds and protozoans. Slime molds and protozoans. So protista are eukaryotic. So protistas are eukaryotic. Protistas are eukaryotic, and third one will be they have membrane bound organelle. Sorry, they are membrane bound nucleus. They are of membrane bound nucleus. They are of membrane bound nucleus. Protista has membrane bound organelle. They have membrane bound organelle. They are eukaryotic. They are primarily aquatic. They are primarily aquatic. They have flagella and cilia. Now the reproductions of protistas are protista reproduce asexually with the help of cell fusions, and protista reproduce sexually by zygote formation. Protista reproduce asexually by cell fusions, and protista reproduce sexually by zygote formations. So those who are in live, please subscribe my channel and give one like to my live. Reproduction of protista. So asexually by cell fusion, and sexually by zygote formation. Chrysophytes. It's a group of diatoms and golden algae. So chrysophytes are the groups of diatoms, DIA, diatoms, TOMS, and golden algae. Desmids are called golden algae. Most of them are photosynthetic, that means they make their own food with the help of the inorganic raw substances. So, which diatoms cell walls are of two thin overlapping shells which can fit together in the soap box. The walls are embedded within the silica, and the walls are indestructible, that means they are not breakable. So their cell walls are indestructible, and diatomaceous earth soils are used in polishing, filtrations of oils, and filtration of syrup. So what is diatoms? Diatoms is a chrysophyte. Diatoms are the chief producers of lotion, and this point is very important, that diatoms are found in fresh water. So diatoms are found in fresh water. Diatoms are the chief producers of the oceans, and diatoms are the chrysophytes. So what are the points about protista? First one is the protistas are eukaryotic and they are single celled. Protista are of 5 types. First one is the chrysophytes, then the dinoflagellates, then euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. So protistas has a membrane bound nucleus. So protista has membrane bound nucleus, and they have membrane bound organelle. Protistas are eukaryotic. They are primarily aquatic. Protista have cilia and flagella both. Reproductions of protista. So protista reproduce asexually with the help of cell fusions, and protista reproduce sexually with the help of zygote formation. Now let's read about chrysophytes. Chrysophytes are one of the types of protista. So chrysophytes are one of the types of protista, and its groups is diatoms and golden algae. Desmids are known as diatoms. Desmids are known as golden algae. Most of them are photosynthetic. Diatom cell walls, two thin overlapping shells. Diatom cell wall are of two thin overlapping cells, and which can fit into the soap box. So diatom cell walls are made up of two thin overlapping cells. So diatom cell walls are made up of two thin overlapping cells, and which can fit into the soap box. Diatom cell the cell walls are embedded in the silica, and they are indestructible. Indestructible means they are not breakable. So diatomaceous earth soil is used in filtration of oils, filtrations of syrups, and polishing. So what are the uses of diatomaceous earth? The uses of diatomaceous earths are polishing. Second one is the filtration of oil, and third one is the filtration of syrups. So what is diatoms? Diatoms are chrysophytes. Diatoms are the ship producers of the oceans, and diatoms are found in fresh water, especially and the marine environment. That is the marine environment. Now let's read from first. That is the biological classification. So earlier classification was done with the help of our basic needs, right? Like clothes, water, food, right? Then Aristotle was the first person who has given the classification scientifically. Then the two kingdom classification came, and this two kingdom classification was given by Linnaeus, and he divided the kingdom, and the kingdom name he has given, first one is plantae, second one is the animalia. And in five kingdom classifications, R.H. Whitaker given the five kingdom classification in 1969. This date is very, very important. So R.H. Whitaker has given five kingdom classification. So the kingdoms names are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Here the Monera. Now let's read about Monera. So Monera cell wall type is prokaryotic, and its cell wall is made up of non-cellulosic. Non-cellulosic includes polysaccharides plus amino acids, and nuclear membrane is obviously absent because it's prokaryotic. And in class 8 we have already read that prokaryotics means they are the primitive organisms. They don't have well defined nucleus, and their DNA is can situated anywhere. They have nucleoids, so the cell membrane is absent. Nuclear membrane is absent. Obviously they don't have well defined nucleus. Their nuclear membrane will be absent. And the body organization is cellular. The mode of nutritions are autotrophic and heterotrophic. Here autotrophic included chemosynthetic and photosynthetic both, and heterotrophic included saprophytic plus parasitic. Saprophytic means they derive the nutritions from the dead raw materials, and parasitic means the parasitics are the organisms that depend on hosts. Okay, from host they take the nutrition from them. Let's read about Protista. So Protistas are eukaryotic. Though they are eukaryotic, they have well defined nucleus, and they have nuclear bound nucleus. Okay, sorry, one membrane bound nucleus. They will have membrane bound nucleus, and their body organization is cellular. That means they are single celled, and their mode of nutritions are two types. First one is preparation for university. I guess no, I'm preparing for NEET. This chapter name is biological classification, and yes, this chapter name is biological classifications. I'm reading about Protista now. You can revise with me. So its cell type is eukaryotic. Its cell wall is present in some. So Protistas, you cannot say that in Protista all have cell wall. So cell wall is present in some, and nuclear membrane is present here. Obviously they will have nuclear membrane because they are eukaryotic organisms, and their mode of nutritions are of two types. First one is autotrophic, and second one is the heterotrophic. And autotrophic means in autotrophic they will only include photosynthetic. They are not chemosynthetic, they are photosynthetic. This is my chocolate. So let's read about fungi. So fungi are also eukaryotic. So the organisms that are eukaryotic, obviously they have a well-defined nucleus, and they will have membrane-bound membrane-bound nucleus. And cell wall is present without cellulose, and their cell wall is made up of chitin and polysaccharide. So the most common mistake we made, that we know the term chitin. So chitin, fungi cell wall is made up of chitin, but we actually forget about the polysaccharide. So you should not forget that. So fungi cell wall is made up of chitin and polysaccharide, and body organization is multicellular and loose tissue, and mode of nutrition will be heterotrophic, and heterotrophic here included saprophytic and parasitic. Okay, and Plantae and Animalia is not in our syllabus, but we all know about plants because we have to read plant kingdom also and animal kingdom also, so don't worry about that. So cell wall is absent in Animalia, amoeba, parameciums and mycoplasma. So cell wall is absent in Animalia, means animals. Obviously animals don't have cell wall. Amoeba also don't have cell wall. Parameciums and mycoplasma also don't have cell wall. So two kingdom classification did not distinguish between, first one is prokaryotics and eukaryotic, photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic, unicellular and multicellular. So two kingdom classification did not distinguish between. Two kingdom classification do not cellulose is a polysaccharide found in the structure of plants, yes, and forms the building blocks of the cell wall. Obviously in plants only we have cellulose, in plants only they have cellulose. Two kingdom classification do not distinguish between eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Do know that in NEET examinations they make the syllabus, they said that this portion is not in the syllabus, but we have found that the portion which is easy they have just simply cut down that syllabus, and the portion which is needed, and sometimes they deleted the syllabus, but that portion is that portion we have to read because we need the concept. So there is no deletion of syllabus, we have to read all. So first one is the two kingdom classification do not distinguish between the eukaryotics and prokaryotic. Second one is the photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic, photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic. Third one is the unicellular and multicellular. So two kingdom classification do not distinguish between the eukaryotic and prokaryotic, unicellular, multicellular, photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic. Green plant, so green algae and green plant make their own food with the help of the photosynthesis, and fungi are non-photosynthetic. And fungi's mode of nutrition will be heterotrophic. So why they are non-photosynthetic? Non means no. So non-photosynthetic means they will not produce their food with the help of photosynthesis. So that's why they are heterotrophic, and they take the nutritions in the form of saprophytic and parasitic. So fungi take nutrition in the form of saprophytic and parasitic form. Okay. So the main criteria of classifications, first one is the cell structure, nature of cell wall, mode of nutrition, evolutionary relationship and mode of reproduction. Cell structure, nature of cell wall, mode of nutrition, evolutionary relationship, method of reproduction. So there are 5 main criteria of classification. First one is the cell structure. Second one will be the mode of nutrition. Third one will be the mode of that is the evolutionary relationship, and fifth one will be the mode of reproduction. So examples of algae are Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. Heterotrophic group will be fungi. Obviously, fungi are non-photosynthetic and they are heterotrophic. They take the nutrients in the form of parasitic form and saprophytic form. And autotrophics are green algae and green plants also. Fungi cell wall is made up of chitin and polysaccharide. Green plant cell wall is cellulosic. So monadas are the sole members and they are the most abundant microorganisms. Bacteria occurs almost everywhere and hundreds of bacteria present in handful of soil. So when we take one handful of soil like this, you will find hundreds of bacteria there. And bacteria are the sole members of monera. They are the most abundant microorganisms. Bacteria occur almost everywhere. Obviously, we find everywhere the bacteria, okay? And hundreds of bacteria are found in handfuls of soil. Bacteria also live in extremely harsh habitat and such as hot spring, desert. See, in hot desert, no one can survive. In cold desert also, no one can survive. Means when there is extremely hot. But bacteria can survive. So bacteria can survive in anywhere. Bacteria can survive in any harsh condition. Okay. So bacteria can live in extreme habitats such as hot spring, desert, snow, and deep oceans. Many of them live in or on other organisms. So many of them can live inside and or on the surface of the organism. So they are parasitic. Now let's read about the shape of the bacteria. So there are 4 shapes of bacteria. First one is the spiral, second one is the dot shape, third one is the comma shape, and fourth one is the spherical shape. So first one is the spherical shapes, rod shape, comma shape, and spiral shape. So the bacteria whose shape is spiral is known as coccus, and it's in singular form, and in plural form we will say cocci. So the bacteria whose shape is rod shape, it is known as bacillus, and it is in singular form, and its plural form will be bacilli. The comma shaped bacteria is vibrio. It's in singular form, its plural form will be vibrio. And for spherical shaped bacteria, that will be spirillum, and it is in singular form, its plural form will be spirilla. So the confusion point is that for spherical and spirilla, spirilla means there is spiral like structure and spherical means spherical. Okay, so for spherical it's termed as coccus, and coccus is the singular form, and in plural form it can be asked, in plural form it's called cocci. And for spiral shape, the bacteria's name is spirillum. Okay, spiral for spirillum, spherical for cocci. Spherical the spherical shape bacteria are called cocci, and spiral shape bacteria are called spirilla. Now the characteristics of bacteria. Obviously bacteria can survive in harsh habitats, so they will have extreme metabolic rate. That thing is written. So some bacteria, so the small amount of bacteria are autotrophic because they synthesize their own food from inorganic substances, and their bacterial mode of nutrition are photosynthetic autotrophic and chemosynthetic autotrophics and heterotrophic, and the vast majority of bacteria is heterotrophic. So very small bacteria, so in very small amount of bacteria is autotrophic, and vast amount of bacteria is vast means majority, large amount, abundant. So the vast majority of bacteria are heterotrophic. Heterotrophs do not synthesize their own foods, but they depend on other organisms, obviously, and heterotrophs mainly are then saprophytic, then parasitic. Okay, so bacteria are 2 types, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Archaebacteria lives in harsh habitat. Harsh habitat means they can survive in extreme conditions like hot deserts, right? So there are 3 types of harsh habitat where Archaebacteria can survive. They are halophiles, means they can survive in salty areas, extremely salty areas. For thermoacidophiles, thermo means heat, right? Thermo is related with heat only. So thermoacidophiles, so that are hot spring, means they can survive in hot springs. And methanogens, that means the marshy areas. Okay, halophiles, they can survive in salty areas. Halophiles, they can survive in salty areas. Thermoacidophiles, they can survive in hot spring. And methanogens, they can survive in marshy areas. Archaebacteria differ from other bacteria because they have different cell wall structure. So we have said that I have said that bacteria are of 2 types. First one is Archaebacteria, second one is the Eubacteria. So the Archaebacteria are different from other bacteria. What's the specialty of Archaebacteria? So specialty is the different cell wall structure. Methanogen are present in the gut of ruminant animals. So who are ruminant animals? So the ruminant animals examples, if I give the examples, it will be better for you to understand. So examples of ruminant animals are cows, buffaloes. That means we have already read about the digestion of a cow, right, in class 8. So they have different parts of like stomach, so they can digest cellulose. Okay, so those are the ruminant animals like cows, buffaloes. Okay, mainly they are the herbivorous. So examples of ruminant animals are cows and buffaloes. You can say ox also. They are responsible for the productions of biogas and that contain methane or methanogens in the form of dung of these animals. Okay. So let's read about the Eubacteria, and Eubacteria's other name is true bacteria. So it is called true bacteria. It has a rigid cell wall. It is, if motile, so if means there is a confusion. If the Eubacteria are motile, they will have flagella. So when Eubacteria have flagella, they show the motility. So what is cyanobacteria? Cyanobacteria's other name is blue-green bacteria, and they are photosynthetic autotrophs. They are unicellular, they are colonial, they are filamentous. Colonial means they will live in colony. Okay, so it is found in freshwater, marine water, and terrestrial. Okay, and terrestrial bodies also. Terrestrial means land. Fresh water, you can understand the fresh water. Marine water, you can understand, and terrestrial means the land. Okay, it often forms blooms in polluted water bodies. So cyanobacteria are heterocyst. So heterocyst means the bacteria which can fix nitrogen in the specialized cell that are heterocyst. The organisms that can fix atmospheric nitrogen in specialized cell that are called heterocyst. Examples of cyanobacteria are Anabaena and Nostoc. Examples of cyanobacteria are Anabaena and Nostoc. And chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria are oxidized various inorganic substrates. So chemosynthetic bacteria that can oxidize various inorganic substrates. So what are the inorganic substrates? There are 3 inorganic substrates. First one is the nitrates, second one is the nitrites, and third one is the ammonia. Nitrites, nitrates, and ammonia. So chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria used the released energy for ATP production. Chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria use the released energy for ATP productions, and they play the great role in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, and sulfur. So for chemosynthetic bacteria, they use released energy for ATP production. They play a great role in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, sulfur. So what is heterotrophic bacteria? Heterotrophic means they will depend on other. So the bacteria that are most abundant in nature. So autotrophic bacteria, there are few autotrophic bacteria that are present in nature, but heterotrophic bacteria are present abundant, means in vast. Okay, vast means the majority. So the bacteria are most abundant in nature. Which bacteria? The heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant in nature. The majorities are important decomposers. So the majorities are important decomposers. Many of them have significant impact on human affairs. Okay, significant impact on human affairs. Okay, they are beneficial and harmful also for human. So let us read the positive first, because we should be positive first, then we should read the negative. So So the positivity is that heterotrophic bacteria helps in making curd from milk, and production of antibiotics. So without bacteria we cannot make antibiotics. So heterotrophic bacteria helps in making antibiotics. Heterotrophic bacteria helps in making curd from milk. They helps in fixing nitrogen in the leguminous roots of the legumes of the roots. Okay, legumes roots. Okay, means in the leguminous plant they fix the nitrogen in the legumes root. Legumes root means the leguminous plant only. So in their root they fix the nitrogen. Some of the pathogens causing damage to human beings also. Obviously bacteria are not good that you are thinking. So some of the pathogens are caused damage to human beings. Examples: cholera, typhoid, tetanus, citrus canker. So these are the bacterial diseases. So bacterial diseases are cholera, typhoid, tetanus, citrus canker. Now the reproduction of bacteria. Bacteria show wide metabolism, and their reproduction, I think reproduction will be vast. Okay, so bacteria's reproduction mainly through fission and sometimes under unfavorable condition. So this one is very important. So sometimes under unfavorable conditions bacteria reproduce through spores. So in favorable conditions they reproduce through with the help of the fission. So in favorable conditions they reproduce with the help of the fission, and in unfavorable conditions they reproduce with the help of the spores. Bacteria also reproduce by a sort of sexual reproduction on a primitive type of DNA transfer from one bacteria. So they transfer DNA from one bacteria and another bacteria, that is termed as a sort of sexual reproduction. And what is mycoplasma? So the organisms that completely lack cell wall. So mycoplasma are the organisms, they are the very smallest organism, and these organisms completely lack cell wall. And one of the most important specialty of mycoplasmas is that they can survive without oxygen. So a human cannot survive without oxygen, but mycoplasma, these are the organisms, they can survive without oxygen. So we can die, but mycoplasma will not die because they can survive without oxygen. So many mycoplasma is pathogenic in animals and plants. So mycoplasma is not so good because they are pathogenic in some plants and animals. I wish to take this chocolate. My chocolate is falling. So I will eat later. Those who are new, please subscribe my channel. Now let's read about Protista. Protista is single cell. They are eukaryotic. There are 5 types: chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, glenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. So they are eukaryotic. Obviously eukaryotes, what property of eukaryotes have similar property of Protista has. Okay, so eukaryotes, they have well defined nucleus. So Protista also have membrane bound nucleus. They have membrane bound organelle. They are eukaryotic cell. They have cilia and flagella, and reproductions of Protista is through fission, means when they will produce asexually, they with the help of fission, and sexually with the help of the zygote formations. But in bacteria, the reproduction will be with the help of fission only, and in the unfavorable conditions the bacteria will reproduce with the help of the spores. But in Protista there are 2 types of reproduction. First one is the asexual reproduction. Asexual reproductions lead to cell fission, and sexual reproductions lead to zygote formation. And bacteria also can reproduce with the help of sexual reproduction. That is, they actually transfer DNA from one bacteria. DNA is transferred to another bacteria, and this is a sort of sexual reproductions in bacteria. But in Protista, they will have asexual reproduction with the help of zygote formation, and asexual reproductions with the help of cell fusion. Now let's read about chrysophytes. Its group is diatoms and golden algae. Desmids are known as golden algae. They are photosynthetic, means they can synthesize their own food with the help of the inorganic substances. The atoms are they are having cell wall, that is silica, and they can fit into the soap box. They are indestructible, means they are not breakable. So they are used in various purposes, like they help in polishing of oils, polishing of syrups, and filtration. So what is diatoms? Diatoms are chrysophytes, and they are the chief producers of oceans, and they can survive in freshwater and marine environments. So when we read our notes multiple times, it will be beneficial that it will not get forget easily. So we have to read our notes multiple times. So if you have already started for NEET preparation 2026 from now only, so you will have enormous time, right? So complete your study very well, because don't at last what we do, we just run behind to complete the syllabus, and then we just we say that we think that after completing syllabus then we will revise. So don't do like this. If you have started preparation from now only, then read very carefully, love your subjects, give time to your subjects. The way I will not say that, means love your subjects and give time to your subjects. The way you want to give time with someone, you can give that time to your subjects and love your subjects. Those who have given time, they have wasted their time and nothing else, and after that they will have means I have seen my friends actually. They have given time to someone, and after giving time to someone, they have lost their hope and dreams also. I don't have any someone now. Till now I don't have. So what are the examples of algae? The algae examples are Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. So heterotrophic group examples is fungi, and autotrophic group is green. Yes. Sorry for the net connection, because I am having net issues. In my locality I am having cloudy weather. Okay, so sorry for that. So examples of algae are Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. So heterotrophic groups are fungi, and autotrophic groups are green plants. Fungi are non-photosynthetic. Obviously they will be heterotrophic. If someone can't make their own food, but everyone has the right to survive, right? So if someone can't make their own food, they will depend on other, like us. We are not doing any income, so we depend on our parents. So similarly fungi also depend on someone. So fungi are saprophytic and fungi are parasitic. Means saprophytic means they take the nutritions from the other dead organisms, okay, after digesting, and they can spread chemicals like that. And what about parasitic? They actually take the nutritions from the host, okay. So fungi's cell wall is made up of chitin and polysaccharide. This one is very, very important. So fungi are multicellular, and they have loose tissues. Okay, loose tissues. Yes. Fungi are eukaryotic. So when we will see eukaryotic, we will obviously write they have well-defined nucleus, and cell wall, nuclear membrane is present. Okay, and cell wall, they have cell wall without cellulose. So fungi have cell wall without cellulose, and their cell wall is made up of chitin and polysaccharide. And cell wall is absent in Animalia. Obviously in animals we don't have cell wall. We are the animals, humans are the animals only. We don't have cell wall. Similarly dogs, cows, they are also animals. They will not have cell wall. And amoebas, they will not have cell wall. Paramecium will also not have cell wall, and mycoplasma don't have cell wall. So let's read about mycoplasma. Mycoplasma are the smallest cell, very very small. They have many specialties that you can imagine also. First one is that they can survive without oxygen. Next one is that uh, they are the smallest cell, is right. They can survive without oxygen. And yes, they doesn't have cell wall. Next one is that they doesn't have cell wall. They don't have cell wall. Yes. Organisms that completely lack cell walls. So these are the organisms that completely lack cell walls. These are the smallest living cells, and they can survive without oxygen. That is the specialty, and they can found in pathogenic form in both plants and animals. What are the shapes of bacteria? Those who are in live, I can ask questions, you can give answers in the live also. So what are the shapes of bacteria? There are 4 shapes of bacteria. First one is the spherical shape, second one will be the rod shape, third one will be the comma shape, and fourth one will be the spiral shape. So spherical and spiral, these two are confusion, because many have these two terms are same, and many of them will have confusion. So spherical bacteria's name is Coccus, and spiral bacteria's name is Spirilla. And Spirilla for the plural form, and for single bacteria we will call Spirilla. And comma shaped bacteria is Vibrio, or in plural form in plural form it's called Vibrio, and in singular form we will say Vibrium. And rod shape, it is Bacillus for singular form and Bacilli for plural form. Plural means many. We have read singular and plural, like, so that's the same thing. Plural means many. So bacteria can survive in extremely harsh habitats because they have they have well metabolism. Okay, they have well extensive, or you can say they have the most extensive metabolic diversity. Some of the bacteria are autotrophic, so some are autotrophic, but majority of the bacteria are heterotrophic. In my childhood, when it comes to bacteria, means when I was at class 8 and maybe 6, I thought that bacteria are very evil. They always cause harm, but it's not like that. Bacteria are also very very helpful for us, because they helps in making card. Okay, they helps in they are used in antibiotics. Third one is that they helps in fixation of nitrogens in legumes root, and many things. So they are harmful also. So what are they? They cause cholera, they cause typhoid, tetanus, citrus canker, etc. So chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria can oxidize inorganic substrates, and their inorganic substrates are nitrates, then nitrites and ammonia. So what is the formula of ammonia? Ammonia's formula is NH3, and its IUPAC name will be amine. Okay, in T block it's there that the name ammonia, NH3. Here N is a P block element, that is group 15, and along with P block elements means group 15P, trihydrides is added here, means H3 is added. So NH3, its normal name is ammonia, but its IUPAC name will be amine. So one time I have revised my biology. Let's revise physics. So wait for a minute, I'm just coming. Yes, I have taken my chocolate. I love this flavor actually, and its cost is very less. So 1 rupee. So let's revise physics. Physics class 12 chapter 1. Physics chapter 1 deals with the property, means his first chapter name is electric field and charges. So obviously we'll read about charge, properties of charge, nature of charge, then electric fields. So electric fields and charges. So at first we should know what is property. Property means the characteristics, right? Any characters. For example, consider the flower rose, red rose. Red rose is very attractive because red color is very attractive. So red roses are also very attractive. And if any girl finds red roses, then she will be very attractive to that flower, because obviously girls like flowers. So but its effects, so red rose has given some effects, right? And that effect is that someone is feeling attractive towards that flowers. So similarly, property means that rose property is that it is red, and that's why people are very attractive towards that flower. Similarly, property is similarly when there will be a property and there will be an effect. So in physics, mass is a property and mass will give effect. So what are the effects of mass? The effects of mass will be the gravitational force and moment of inertia. And gravitational force means G equal to gravitational force means it is a force, not G. So F equal to G m1 m2 by r square. Now you can derive the formula of G also. So the formula of force will be G m1 m2 by r square, and the moment of inertia formula will be I equal to m r square. So when there is a property, there will be effect. First chapter deals with the property of charge. So charge is a property. Charge is a property, obviously it will lead to effects, and its effect will be the electrostatic force. Okay. So if there is no property, there will be no effect. Now a confusion question may come in exam, like if a body has property, then it will have a gravitational force, and another statement is that if a body has mass, then it will have gravitational force. Everyone will say that if a body has mass, it will have gravitational force, because its formula is F equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So F equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So F is proportional to m. So if a body has mass, it will feel gravitational force. But the thing is that mass is a property. So this statement is also correct, that if a body has property, then it will have gravitational force. So both the statements are correct. So these are very conceptual, and this concept is given by my teacher only, so that's why I can say you. And he is giving very clear and deep concept. That's why I have selected him as a teacher for physics, okay, and chemistry also. His name is Abhijit Das. If you want to connect with if you want to get that kind of concept, you can see my post. There I have written all the details about him, means the routines, when the class routines, and he will teach in Google Meet, and you can connect in WhatsApp also, means you can ask question in WhatsApp, you can call him also. There are few teachers we cannot contact, we cannot say that what the problems I am facing. So in Google Meet he is taking class, and for any query you can ask in WhatsApp. He is active 24/7. Okay. So what is mass? Mass is a property, and that property will lead to effect. So mass is a property, and that property will lead to effect, and that effect will be the gravitational force. So what is mass? Mass is a property, and obviously the property will lead to effects, and that effects will be the gravitational force. Mass is a quantity of matter that contains in a body. So mass is a quantity. You can understand what is quantity. And quantity has many compositions. For example, for a human weight is 50 kg. So no one will never say that his head's weight is his net weight of his head is 50 kg, because our overall body's weight is 50 kg or 60 kg. Means it include head, hands, legs, etc. Okay. So quantity has many compositions, and compositions examples are head, neck, what I've given. An object having mass, example pen. A pen has a white cap. Consider this is a pen. Okay, this is a pen and its weight is, consider 50 gram. Okay, so here this pen includes its cap, its ink. So its pen weights included white cap and ink. So due to this white cap and ink, it will have mass. So the mass will result in effect, and this effect will be the gravitational force and moment of inertia and so on. A charge is also a property, and this property will lead to electrostatic force, and its effect can be magnetic field, electric fields, etc. So charge is a property. Charge is a physical property. The charge is a physical property. Why it's a physical property? Charge is a physical property because we cannot see charge with the naked eyes. Okay, charge is invisible. That's why charge is a physical property. So mass is a gravitational force, and charge is a property that will also lead to effects, and its effects will be electric field and magnetic field. Charge is a physical property of matter due to which it experience and produce electric field. Charge not only produce electric field, it will produce electric field, magnetic fields and EM wave. Okay, but to produce electric field and magnetic field, and to produce electric field, magnetic fields and EM wave, there are three states of charge. Means when the charge is at rest, suppose a charge Q is present, consider there is a charge, and when the charge is at rest, suppose this cap is a charge, and when this charge is at rest, it will produce electric field. And when this charge is moving slowly, means moving with constant velocity, it will produce electric field and magnetic field. And when the charge is moving very fastly, means when the charge is moving in accelerated manner like this, it will produce electric field, magnetic field and EM wave. Okay, so there are three states of charge. First one is the charge should be at rest. Second one will be the charge is moving with constant velocity, and third will be the charge is moving with accelerated manner, and its effect will be electric field, magnetic fields and EM wave. So some important points of charge, that is charge of one electron is minus E, that is minus 1.6 × 10⁻⁻19 coulomb. Charge of one proton is plus E, that is plus 1.6 × 10⁻⁻19 coulomb. And charge of electrons and protons are same because their signs are different, right? Positive sign and negative sign, but the magnitudes are same. Here the negative sign and positive signs indicates the property, doesn't indicate the value. So that's why the charge of a protons and charge of electrons are same. Similarly, the charge of a proton, charge of a positron and charge of a deuteron is also same, that is plus E, that is 1.6 into plus 1.6 × 10⁻⁻19 coulomb. Now charge are of what is the source of charge? The source of charge is electron. Why it's electron? Because see, a electron is not bounded with any strong force, and it is situated in the outer orbital, so that's why electrons can be transferable. But for a proton is bonded with this heavy nuclear force with the neutron. So for a proton we have neutron, means for proton is added with the neutron, and they will have a heavy nuclear force. So that's why a proton cannot be transferable. Okay, so proton are not transferable, electrons are transferable. So that's why the source of charge is electron. And charge is a scalar quantity, that means it can be added or it can be subtracted. Okay, we will not use sine theta cos theta like that. So charge is conservative in nature. That means charge can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferable. Why it's transferable? I have already said. And charge is quantized. That is, it should be available in the fixed amount in the market. It's my for my own benefit. I have said that because see, you cannot say that give me half pen. This is one pen. You cannot say give me half pen. Means we cannot cut this pen with a scissor, and you can say take this pen and write and give me another portion of pen. So it is in fixed amount, and it should be in integer. That is, integer means the whole number, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the formula is Q equal to NE, and we should know the meaning of each word. Means Q, N and E. Q means the charge of any body, and N indicates the charge of N indicates the integer number. N means the number, so N indicates the integer number, and E means the charge of an electron. And the charge of an electron here, we have to take the magnitude, not the sign. So magnitude is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So a question given by my teacher is, can a body of plus 8 into 10 power minus 18 coulomb be charged, be given in a body, can a charge of plus 8 into 10 power minus 18 coulomb be given in a body? And if we put the formula, means Q equal to NE. So here Q means charge of any body. So any body's charge is given in the question. So Q equal to plus 8 into 10 power minus 18 coulomb. And we know the charge of an electron. So that is 1.6 into 10 power minus 18, 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So we have to find N. So N equal to Q by E. So put the value and N will be 50. So that charge to that body. Okay. Now when the integer, means when N value is in fraction, we cannot say that that body can be charged, because in fraction the net charge will be 0 for a body. And if the fraction value is higher, like 6.5 into 10 to the power 12, so these in fraction, but its value is very large, so we can say that that body can be charged, and its net charge of the electrons will be minus 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 19 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. There are two types of charge. First one is the positive charge and second one is the negative charge. Positive charge means there will be deficiency of electrons, and deficiency of electrons means what? There will be loss of electrons. What I am saying, deficiency of electrons means there will be loss of electrons. There will be, if we take some electrons from a body, that indicates the deficiency of electrons. So when there is deficiency of electrons, it will be positively charged, and when there will be grain of electrons, that will be negative charge. Consider this is a pen, and if we add some electrons here, okay, then this pen will have negative charge, and when this pen will have negative charge, its mass also increase, its mass number will be increased. And when we take out these electrons from a body, then its mass number will decrease, and when its mass number will decrease, it will be positively charged, and when its mass number will increase, it will be negatively charged. A charge cannot exist without mass, but mass can exist without charge. A charge cannot exist without mass, but a mass can exist without charge. So neutral body can be negatively charged by giving some extra electrons, and a positively charged can be given by giving some electrons. And positively charged, okay, a neutral body can be negatively charged. When a body is neutral body means the net charge is 0. Suppose I consider this pen net charge is 0, and we need to make the charge of this pen negative. So how can be this pen charge be negative? If we add some electrons to this pen, then this pen net charge will be negative. Negative indicates that there will be addition of electrons, and when there is addition of electrons, there will be negative charge, means addition of electrons or graining of electrons, and their mass number will be increased for negative charge, and for positive charge their mass number will decrease. Now if we want to find the net charge of an atom, we have to take electrons, protons and neutrons. For neutrons the net charge is 0, so when the net charge is 0, that means it can be a neutral body. So neutral body means the number of electrons and number of protons for same. Number of electrons and number of protons are same for a neutral body. Now let me ask some question. So can a charge, find the charge on 10 electrons. Find the charge on 10 electrons. So Q equal to, answer will be Q equal to minus 10E, that is minus 10 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Find the charge on half electrons. Half electrons means 1 by 2, that is 0.5. So it's in fraction. So its net charge will be 0. Find the charge on 17 electrons. Then Q equal to minus 17E, and E value is minus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Find the charge on 6.5 electron, though 6.5 is in fraction, so its net charge will be 0. Find the charge on 6.5 into 10 to the power 12 electrons, 6.5 into 10 to the power 12 electron. Then this body will have charge, because I have already said that when the fraction value power is high, or when the fraction value is higher, then we can take that body has charge. So it's the charge on 6.5 into 10 to the power 12 electron will be Q equal to minus 6.5 into 10 to the power 12 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Now if you want to find out the neutrons, then its formula will be mass number minus atomic number. Now let's read about some important points of charge, that is 1 coulomb equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 ESU. 1 ESU equal to 1 by 3 into 10 to the power 9 1 by 3 into 10 to the power 9 coulomb. SI unit of charge is coulomb, and CGS unit of charge is Faraday. CGS unit of charge is ESU. Faraday is the largest unit of charge. Okay, Faraday is the largest unit of charge. I have made mistake that my teacher asked me that what is the unit of the largest unit of charge is Faraday. It's correct, but he said that the largest unit of charge is farad, and I have said it's also correct. Then he said that the largest unit of charge is Faraday, not farad, because farad is the unit of capacitor. Now the smallest unit of charge is ESU, and that is termed as Franklin. 1 coulomb equal to 1 by 10 EMU. Okay. Now this chapter also deals with the force, that is the electrostatic force. So let us know the unit of force also. These are the basic things, and basics we have to know basics, because until and unless we know the basics, we will face problems while doing sums, right? So SI unit of force is Newton, and the CGS unit of force is dyne. 1 Newton equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. How a person get electric shock? A person get electric shock by discharge of electric charge through our body, which were accumulated by rubbing with the insulated surface. So examples, when we open the door of a car, we get electric shock, but we cannot realize it. Now, when we are holding the bus, means when we are holding the iron bar of a bus, and then we are sliding from our, then we just after sliding from our seat, so we have hold the iron bar. After sliding from our seat, we will get electric shock, because there is a rubbing between insulated surface, so it will produce charge, and we get electric shock, but we cannot realize it. This chapter deals with the electrostatic force. So electro means electrons, and static means anything that doesn't move with time, that is the electrostatic force. Okay. Now let's read about conductors. So what is conductor? A conductor is a substance or materials that allow the electricity to flow. Now the question is that in class 7, 6 we have read what is conductor and what is insulator, but in class 12 we have to read the details, right? So we all know that in a conductor electricity will flow. So electricity will flow, all knows, but why electricity will flow? Because there will be flow of electrons. So when there will be flow of electrons, there will be flow of charge. So when the charge will flow, that leads to flow of current. And conductors always move from, in a conductors, electrons will move from the negative end to positive end. Conductors have free electrons. Okay, the electrons are allowed to move freely. So until and unless electrons can't move freely, there will be no productions of current. So to produce current, there will be flow of electrons. So in a conductors also, there will be flow of electrons. And this flow of electrons indicates that this allow the free electrons to move, and these electrons will reside inside the conductor. Now suppose this is a conductors and we have given excess charge to this conductor. Okay, so then this excess charge will not reside inside the conductor. This will reside on the surface of the conductor. We have given a positive charge to a conductor, means excess charge is the positive, means the protons. Then that proton will reside on the surface of the conductor. And similarly, if we have given electrons, that is the excess charge to that conductor, then that charge will reside on the surface of the conductor. Okay, so the conductors have free electrons, that means it will lead to free electrons, and the free electrons are moving randomly. So they have electricity, means electricity will flow through the conductor, and the conductors have low resistance. So from the Ohm's law, we can say V equal to IR. Now I equal to V by R. So I is inversely proportional to 1 by R. So when the resistance is low, then current will flow maximum, because I means the current is inversely proportional to resistance. So resistance is low, then current will move faster. A conductor has positive temperature coefficient and it has high thermal stability. And examples are copper, silver, aluminum, gold, steel, etc. Okay. Yes. Now what is free electrons? I am saying that there will be free electrons, free electrons. So free electrons means the neutral body. Free electrons means the neutral body, that is number of protons and number of electrons are same. And the free electrons means the charge will be 0, and the free electrons will reside inside the charge. The free electrons will reside inside the charge. So inside the conductors, the free electrons will reside inside the conductors. And if we want to give the excess charge, then that charge will reside on the surface. So excess charge will reside on the surface, and free electrons will reside inside the conductor. And free electrons means there will be neutral body, and neutral body means number of electrons and number of protons are same. That means the net charge will be 0. Okay, so up to this for physics. Now let's revise chemistry. So before revising, let me drink water. See, I am so lazy, so that's why I have these 2 liters of bottle in my room. I have 2 bottles for 4 liters, that includes 4 liters only. So though I am lazy, so I have brought these 2 liters of bottles in my room, because when we have 500 ml of water, means many times I have to go downstairs, then I have to bring water, so I don't like that. So that's why I have bought these big bottles. And my mom is always scolding me that decorate your room, your books are here and there, what you are doing. He is just always scolding me. You can see my books also, that I have just decorated. Still after decorating also, my bed is like this. See, I can show you. After getting scolded from my mother, still my bed is like this. Yes, I have done class of P blocks, and I have to revise this all. Okay, so let's revise the previous one, then I will go with the today's one. Okay, So previous ones, let's read about coordination compounds, limitations of crystal field. Okay. Now see, the coordination models successfully explains the property of coordination compounds. So what are the properties of coordination compounds? The properties of coordination compounds are formation, the color, the structure, and the metallic property. A crystal field model has a ligand, and that ligands are the point charge. As a result, the anionic ligands, that's ionic, fluorine, chlorine, should exert the greatest splitting effect. So what is anionic ligand? The anionic ligand actually are found at the lowest end, that is the left side. Lowest end means the left side of the splitting effect. And anionic ligands are actually found in the lowest end. Yes, that I already said. The anionic ligand does not take into the account covalent characters of bonding between metals and ligand. Covalent bond means there will be sharing of electrons. Okay, and the sharing of electrons is done between the metals and ligand, and the sharing should be between the unpaired electrons, not paired electrons. There will be unpaired electrons. Anionic ligands are some of the weakness of the CFT, which are explained by ligand field theory and molecular orbital theory. So the anionic ligands are some of the weakness of the CFT that are explained by ligand field theory and molecular orbital theory. Now what is homoleptic complex and what is heteroleptic complex? Homoleptic complex means a coordination compound which has only one type of ligand. So I am telling the type, that is chlorine, fluorine. Okay. Example is PtCl4. So chlorine is the ligand but is 4 in number. But chlorine means there will be one type of chlorine means chlorine, but in that compound only one type of ligand is there, and one type of ligand is the chlorine only. So PtCl2, PtCl4. So Pt means the platinum. So platinum is the metal, and that is the transition metal. Coordination compounds actually deals with the transition metals only. So the Pt is the metal, and here the ligand type is 1, that is Cl4. And heteroleptic complex means when a compounds have different types of ligand. Like means it should be more than one. When the compound have more than one type of ligand, that is the heteroleptic complex. I think storm has came. There are so means in outside there is so strong winds that the trees are moving like this and this. They are just waving. Okay, so leave that. So PtCl3, PtNH3, that is amine, and Cl2. So there are two type of ligand, that is NH3 and Cl2. So what are the strong field ligands? The strong field ligands are CO, then NO, NH3, and the weak field ligands are the halogen. Halogen includes the fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and water. So the metals, the transition metals examples are scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel. Okay. So when in a complex, if there are 4 ligand, that shape will be the tetrahedral, and when there are 6 ligand, that shape will be the octahedral. Example PtCl4 2 minus and MnCN6 2 minus. Heteroleptic carbonyl compounds. Only carbonyl ligands are related with this compound.